What's up, y'all? It's me, Erica. What's going on? We are down here. Oh, it's empty out here, honey. Girl, what is the tea? I'm the only car down here. What is going on, everybody? Let's go ahead and like, subscribe, or comment. I think I'm down here to talk about Salt Lake City. It's just me and an old black rooster, honey. Come on, black rooster. We are down here. I've never been the only the car in the parking lot. Okay, so let's talk. Let's talk, honey. Pull up into our studio. Okay. So we're talking about Salt Lake City. I don't know. I kind of want to make it warm in here a little bit, and then Diva and I are gonna do the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion together. Just to FYI to let you know. I don't know how many. Hopefully hopefully Nathaniel's able to do all parts. For y'all who don't know, Nathaniel is a really, really good friend of mine. One of my closest friends, and you could probably go watch the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion review that I did. He and I did that together. So for those who have been here for a while, you know that when I started my channel, Nathaniel and I always did reviews of the shows and stuff like that. He'll be joining me. It's always a treat when he comes down and acts a fool with the diva. So let's talk about Salt Lake City. Overall, I thought the episode was pretty good. I really enjoy the diversity of the cast. I really enjoy the new storylines. I think what they're accomplishing here is what New York wants to do, adding Ebony to the cast. Hope that Ebony has a good experience, especially being around someone like Ramona Singer. So we'll see how that goes. But Salt Lake City gives me the diversity that I like. The two blondes who are cousins, right? Second cousins, however many cousins, whatever. You know, you Mormon, you liable to be cousins with anybody, child. The two brunettes, right? Who I'm out on Lisa. I might like Lisa because of her comebacks, but she's a little too petty for me. She gives me petty co-ed. That's what she's giving me. Somebody else said in the comments or last night on one of my tweets that she does give you like a Giselle vibe, like I'm catty with every girl or whatever. Because to me, I feel like acting like you don't know someone is real petty, and then to act like you don't know them and then turn around and say what they were known for. It's a little too much. I think it's ridiculous, and it's contradictory too as well. Okay, so let me turn the car on. Overall, like I said, the episode was good. There were some parts that I was like, girl, you're doing the most. Okay, so Jen Shah, they start off where they left off, and Jen is in the other room. She's going off, probably with the encouragement of producers. I felt like, from my perspective, that Jen was overreacting. She felt like Mary was disrespecting her family by saying that she's triggered by the smell of hospital that was imprinted into her based on some trauma that she experienced. So I feel like Jen was being insensitive to Mary. While Mary was not talking about her family, while Mary was not talking about Jen, she was talking about a smell that triggers her. And maybe it wasn't the right time to say it, right? Maybe you shouldn't have said that after the girl just came from getting her auntie's legs amputated, right? Maybe that's what you shouldn't have said. Maybe she needed you to. Now, you might not want to be. Now, I'm thinking to myself, I'm trying to think like, I don't even want to be close to you if you smell like something that triggers me. So I don't know how supportive I can be when you smell like a hospital and it makes me sick. You know, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out like how Mary could have responded to where Jen didn't feel like her family was being disrespected. To me, I just felt like Jen was overreacting. I didn't feel like her family was being disrespected or anything like that. Y'all let me know what you think. Mary went to go check on Jen to see, you know, like, like, let me go check on her, because she walked away. She seemed like she was a little angry. So she goes and checks on her, and the girls are, all the other women and some other women are in there kind of supporting Jen in her drama, right? They're like, it's a privilege she's like, it's a privilege to be in my circle and all the stuff that she's giving you all of that, right? And as she's doing that, Mary's walking around the corner like, girl, what's going on? Here she is. Here's Mary. Go ahead and talk to Mary. So Jen, like I said, she was doing too much. I really felt like she was overreacting. I really did. And like trying to get some drama. And even Heather was like, girl, is that her name? Heather? Meredith. Heather Heather Gay is the and ancestor blazed the trails. Okay. I got to get their names together. Mary explains what her triggers are, right? And she explains what happened to her. She was in the hospital for 30 days and the smell of hospital triggers her and it takes her to a dark place. And even as she's talking about it, she seemed to be getting verklempt. She seemed to be getting like a little emotional about the situation. So Meredith comes in. She's like, let's not do this. This is a party. Mary's like, I don't want to do this either. I don't want to rehash it. Like, Jen wanted to talk about it. She wanted to have drama. Like, I was just like, girl, it's not that serious. You were doing too much, and all the hand movements and the body language. It was just too much for me. Let's not rehash it. Let's talk about this later. Mary apologizes and she says, I'm sorry. I didn't want to hurt you. But like, to me, I felt like Jen do you not understand why Mary is triggered by hospital? Or did you decide to take that personally and then project something else? Like, I thought it was just weird. Whitney walks up to Whitney, I keep saying Whitney. Whitney walks up to Lisa Barlow, and she's explaining that, because Lisa donated as a gift her liquor, her tequila, enough to serve 600 people. That's what Lisa said. And Whitney was like, girl, really? Because we ran out like at 6:00 and we had to get our top shelf tequila, bitch. I said, Whitney is a motherfucking, the little devil emoji with the smiley face. That is what, when Whitney was in her moment, I was like, oh, that bitch, she's not to be trusted. I see you, bitch. You got the capacity, because you might be younger than Miss Lisa, but you was right in her face with your bullshit. And I was like, okay, girl, I see you. She was like, yeah, the bartenders got drunk, and they did a flashback and they showed it. And Lisa did not want to accept accountability for the bartenders. If you sent these people to my house as a representation of your brand and they acted a fool, and you walk away like you didn't have nothing to do with it, that doesn't go together. You should have said, you know what, girl, I'm sorry. I'm not sure who they sent or whatever, or I'll find out who they sent and I'll have a talk with them. I apologize that happened. I don't know. You can't do nothing. What you gonna do? Give her some more tequila? I don't know. I said, Whitney is a shady little devil. Lisa was upset. She was really mad. She was like, I don't know what you're trying to do. You're trying to come from my brand or whatever. Well, if that's how your brand was represented, and I'm telling you, and this is what I feel like small businesses have a problem with. When I tell you what you're doing wrong, should I not tell you, or should I protect your business and allow you to continue to be substandard? Right? So would Lisa want Whitney to tell her, girl, the bartenders were really drunk. Next time you send them somewhere, make sure they know what the rules are. You know what I'm saying? Whitney is upset because Lisa once again has said something about the other cousin and said that she was a swinger. Now, they talked about the big swinger community and the Mormon in Utah. I imagine that's what goes on. I mean, that's probably the most excitement you could do is swap wives. I don't know, but here we are. So Whitney says she felt like she was a perfect little Mormon girl. And one day she had a beer and she realized that she didn't feel guilty about having the beer. And so she really shouldn't feel guilty about, I guess, enjoying herself. What it looks like to me is Whitney was having an awakening outside of the organized religion that she was raised in, which I I love to see that. I love for people to finally awaken and understand like the doctrine they've been following, and also the culture of the community they belong to isn't conducive to how they want to grow. And I really love when people reject organized religion and just have this amazing awakening. And unfortunately, because she comes from such a strict type of organized religion, because of what happened with her husband of 15 years, and they still calling the girl a home wrecker. And I said, y'all acting like she Angelina Jolie. And somebody said, yeah, Alicia Keys, hello, because I still call Alicia Keys a home wrecker. Anyway, said she didn't feel bad after she had her beer. And I don't know if you can call the bitch a home wrecker if she been married to the nigga for 15 years. I don't know. And they got kids together. It's a whole love story out here. And then, Whitney and Heather were talking. They were like, well, Heather or Lisa thinks because she follows the religion and she's still, enmeshed with the religion, that she's better than us and we're somehow morally deficient. Whitney shares with us that her dad was a hairstylist. He had a hair care line, and he also was addicted to painkillers and lost everything because of it. He's 63 years old. And baby, the wig, I don't know if it was a wig. I don't know if that was his hair. I don't know what is going on with Whitney's father's hair. But girl, you have to know that your father's out here looking like he's in the Ramones. And his hair looks a mess. And, it's so funny because it's a joke that hairstylists, their hair be looking a mess while they really, really do really great hairstyling. But their hair be looking a mess because they have time to do everybody else's hair but their own. She said within the church, addicts are viewed as, you're an addict because your addiction is a consequence of the choices that you've made. And she said she realized, no, my father, this is not a choice, this is a disease. And she realized that's something else that her church was feeding her and she had to unlearn. I'm here. Whitney just feels like she's having an eye-opening and awakening. Like I said, I love to see that, and I'm loving all of these storylines that we haven't heard. Like, we just haven't heard. And I love the conversation, and I love how religion is really kind of, interwoven into this group of women. I really love it because, you have the other groups, they may talk about, like, you got fake Tra. You got her with her prayer cloth and all the shit that she does on the side, but she still maintains that she's this, pious woman and all stuff. And it's really like, it's okay, you're a PK, we got it. But this whole group and the way that Mormonism and being the Church of Latter-day Saints and all the foolishness they got going on with them, I love the fact that they still sitting at the table talking about their religion. It's not a conversation piece in these other shows. So I'm really here for that. Meredith and Seth, they go out, they married young, talk about they married young. He's smart. I said on the last review that I feel like he plays up for the cameras, like he likes the cameras being there. So he was like, yeah, we're gonna have dinner, you gonna give me eye contact tonight? So I guess she'd be in her phone. Who have you told that we are separated? Now, I don't know if that was supposed to be, if Meredith was ready for that, because she looked kind of like, nigga, what did you just in front of these cameras tell everybody that we separated? I feel like he likes the cameras being there. They got, married young. He asked her, are we built to last? And she's looking like, we got to work at it. I like the conversation that they were having. As we've seen in other housewife franchise, we get to actually see couples go through their rough patches. Some of them come out. Some of them don't, right? Some of them come out their rough patches. Some of them don't. She said they just were living and really going in two opposite directions, living two different lives. There was not a lot of communication going on, which bred hostility, which ultimately they became disconnected. And the husband's like, Seth is like, we got to put in work, but we both have to do it. It has to be reciprocal. So from his perspective, she's not doing the work to work on the marriage and work through these rough patches they have. And so he asked her this weird question, tell me something about you that I don't know, right? And she's looking like very uncomfortable. And then she's like, well, you tell me something you don't about yourself that I don't know. And he was like, I'm really transparent. And she's like, okay. And that's, okay, that's fine. He was like, here's my phone. So we now know that he has a problem with her. He was like, I'll let you go through my phone. And she was like, no, we're not talking about that. This is not about this phone thing. He was like, but I'll let you go through my phone. She was like, I don't think it's right. I don't want to go through your phone. I don't agree with going through people's phones. I just don't agree with it. If you don't trust the person, I can understand your phone being locked and then you telling your partner what the code is just in case of an emergency, right? But I just don't, everybody has their perspectives on sharing electronics, but I feel like as an individual, I'm entitled to privacy. And as a couple, I'm still entitled to my privacy. I just feel like that. So he has a problem with the phone. And he says in the interview, I hope you're not dating anyone. Because I'm not. I know we've been separated, but I'm not dating anyone. And I hope you're not. And honey, Meredith with her Brooke Shields eyebrows, she was like, girl, so we don't know. So they go skiing. And Mary is waiting on her Chanel snowsuit because it doesn't give her wedgies, child. Jen makes a comment in her confessional saying that she looks better than Mary. Lisa, Jen, and Mary did not go skiing. They got dressed up just to do snow angels. The snow was, when I tell you, like when Heather was describing the snow and how it's so fine and smooth and it dips and it cuts, I was like, yes, bitch, I want to go skiing. But they were showing those shots of the snow and it was beautiful. The snow was beautiful. Whitney talks to Lisa and explains that she talks about Lisa and explains that the little digs that Lisa makes, they're condescending. And we could say Lisa is icy. I'm just going to say it. Or I can already tell she's icy. Bitch, when she said, if I buy you a Chanel necklace and you choke on it, that's not my fault. I said, bitch, okay, bitch. I'm here. I might be here for Lisa. I don't know. Wait, the jury is still out on Lisa. Because I love a girl who has a mouth. I love a girl who has a mouth. But she's very much like, when they were sitting at the table, she was like, I don't judge you or something like that. And then she was like, okay, go ahead. And then she smiled. I was like, oh, bitch. Lisa and Whitney, they might be good, like little arch enemies, because Whitney was giving it to Lisa at that party, telling her about her tequila. But then Lisa can give it to you back. So I'm here for it. So she was like, I don't know if it's condescending, but maybe it should be like a caring. She's coming from a caring place. She's talking to you like a little sister and this and that. I don't know. Meredith said, I don't know. Lisa generally acts out of kindness. So I hope that was the gesture towards Whitney. So they're sitting down at dinner. Whitney mentions that she's going to go to church with Mary. And everybody's looking like, what? Okay. And then Heather's like, I want to take my dad. No. Whitney says, I want to take my dad. Heather's like, I think it's great if any church will accept him, whoever it is, Mormon church, Pentecostal, whatever. My dad just needs someone to tell him that he's okay and he's not going to go to hell, I guess. I don't know what the fuck. We had this quick conversation between culture and gossip. Gossip and gospel, right? The culture of the church and the gospel of the church. And they got into, why do we judge each other? And so Lisa was like, just come out and say it. What are we talking about? Whitney's like, I feel judged by you. And she was like, I don't judge you. And Mary was like, let her talk. And she was like, okay, tell me. And she get this evil little grin. Go back and watch it. I was like, oh, this bitch is a mess. She was like, I can't help it that you feel threatened, but I did not threaten you. She was like, let's just be very clear. And let me tell you one thing that I love. Because you heard Whitney use those trigger words. I felt threatened. You were aggressive. You're condescending, right? I love to watch white women use their shit on each other. You gonna say that Lisa was, what was she? She threatened you? Girl, she did not threaten you. Don't start that shit. And I'm glad Lisa was like, girl, I didn't threaten you. If you felt threatened, that's one thing. But I didn't threaten you. I said, come on, bitch. Come on, girl. He talked about her confronting her. She was like, I don't even want to talk about the things that you said about me being a swinger, because then the conversation will be about that. I want to talk about your actions. That's what I want to talk about. So Whitney's not a dumb girl. She might have a little high-pitched Disneyland Snow White voice, but she's not a dumb girl. I'm not referring to that. I'm referring to you being judgmental towards me. Lisa says, I don't care enough about you to judge you. And then, so Heather chimes in. She was like, girl, you going for my cousin? Tag me in, girl, because I can pin you down. Okay? So she says, you said about me that I was a fun time girl. How the hell you going to say that about me and I went to Brigham Young? How the hell? I would not have been able to graduate from BYU if I had done some shit like that. So how the fuck are you saying that I'm the good time girl, but you don't know me? Well, it was supposed to be a joke. It was supposed to be a joke. No, girl. No, Lisa. You like to say little shady things. That's why you saying Whitney is a swinger. You saying Heather was a good time girl, right? So like Heather said, you want to judge these girls and act like they're morally deficient because you're still within your faith and they're not. We got it. She was like, oh, I do come at you guys with love and kindness. She was like, girl, that's not love and kindness. When have you really come at people with love and kindness? So they checking you on your faith. And that's the part that I love, like that they're doing at this table. Is like, okay, we want to be all religious and we want to be all Mormons and shit. And you say you step to people with love and kindness and you don't. They mention these things about Heather giving the girl thumbs up. To me, the thumbs up, it has always been sarcasm, like, sure, dude. That's what thumbs up means to me. I hate to see a thumbs up. And when you give a thumbs up to me, I feel like it's sarcastic. And Heather says, Lisa and Heather, that's going to get me because I know they're two different names, but it's still the same type of name. Heather, Lisa. You know what I'm saying? It's the same type of name. So she was like, and thumbs up. So Lisa felt a way about that. And Heather was like, yeah, that's what I meant. Was it a fuck you? She said, absolutely. So if I made anybody feel bad, right? So that's not an apology. You're not accepting accountability for how the person feels. You're saying, if I made you feel bad. No, they're telling you, you made me feel bad. Ain't no if. You did. So don't apologize if you did. Apologize that you did. Period. Well, I'm done with it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to you. That wasn't an apology, Lisa. We already know what it is. But we want to wipe the slate clean. And that's it for the episode. Jen didn't really have that much in this episode. It was really, I guess, setting the foundation for Whitney and Lisa's and Heather's triangle of drama, and then Meredith, is that her name? Meredith, her story, her and Seth, their story. We didn't really get into Jen's storyline too much. Looks like next week we're going to get into Mary's storyline, which I am kind of relieved that she has an understanding that the shit looks odd, and we'll talk about it later. I don't want to talk about it anymore. We'll talk about it. I was going to expound on it more. All right, take care of each other, guys. We'll see each other down in the comments. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. Peace.